Just outside, you've got miles of trails, fire pits, barbecue areas, a playground, a soccer field, and 4 pickleball courts ready to go. Today I'm going to show you 2,900 and some odd square feet, all packed only for 3 bedrooms, 3.5 bathrooms, but the most amazing feature is definitely the garage, which we'll see at the end, and right before that, the backyard pool. Come along with me. Beautiful day to take a look at a house. This is a really nice looking piece of property from the front. I especially like the protruding wood beams, gives it a really nice touch. It's got a nice walkway. Lawn is well taken care of. This is in Dry Creek Ranch. This is part of the first development, so these trees are starting to come into their own. Let's go ahead and take a look on in. So here we've got this beautiful stone. Connected into a little porch. And then this gorgeous tall wooden door here. All right, let's step on in. Okay, here we have this very tall, beautiful entryway. And it opens up into a hallway here on the left. And an office and a closet here on the right. Turning back around, this is the view out the front door. We'll close the door and take a look at what it looks like with the door closed. It's a nice heavy feeling door. I really like that it feels like quality from the moment you step in. Alright. Here we've got an office, like the wood paneling that covers the first bottom half of the wall. Some built-in shelves. Glass see-through doors. Take a look inside this closet. Nice tall shelving, 3 rods to hang clothes, store books, whatever it is. And then these closets all have the same tall ceilings, so this top shelf gives you plenty of storage options. Here they've got all their network connectivity set up. It says quantum fiber. In this area, you are able to get everything. I'd like to point out the magnetic door closures. These things just snap right in. Oh, it just feels so nice. I want to do it again. Right? We've come a long way from those 1970s ones where you could get it barely open. I show a lot of houses, and I tell you what, sometimes opening and closing closets is never as fun as that was. One thing I noticed from here is these gorgeous floors. This is definitely hardwood. Stained nice. Let's sit down here and take a really nice look at this. Really enjoy this color. Alright, let's see what's down this hallway. Alright, looks like here we've got some bedrooms. This is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bathroom home. So here's the half bathroom, also known as the powder room. Simple yet elegant. This is all a single story house, so we're not going to have to traipse up and down any stairs. Good sized linen closet, extra space up top, nice tall doors, nice crisp clothes. The build quality here is really nice. You can tell by the angling on the molding along the floor. They paid attention to a lot of details. Instead of just coming to a square, you can see it cuts in across at an angle. Alright, let's go down this hall and see what else we find. Moving along, we've got a bedroom here. The padding of this carpet feels nice. That's me bouncing. I'm bouncing on the padding. If you want the full experience of viewing a house with me, you've got to come in person. Otherwise, you're just going to get the camera shakes. Same tall closets. This one has the 3 bars as well. But it goes back quite a bit. And I just love how these close. Alright, so they've got some nice wood furniture in here. You can obviously pick whatever you want, but I like that they match this wood with the hardwood. So here we come to one of our full baths. Go nice and slow so you can take in all these details. And this is nice. So it's got the tub, but then they've got tile walls, which really bring up that next level of quality. This is real tile. You can feel the grout. And then good sized tub. I'm 6'1" and this shower is up there. So not just one of those bathrooms only for short people. And then here, this is definitely granite. It's got the leather texture, so you can feel it. It's not polished stone. And then they've got cute selection for the backsplash here. And it's bordered. I like that they do that. It's just one extra touch to bring out the quality here. And then these are also tile floors. They've got a nice kind of like off gray color. It's got that same leather texture going for it. And then here we've got an iced out window. Once I move to the door out of the way, that really brings in a lot of light in here. If I turn the lights off, there we go. We still got a lot of light in here, even with the lights off. And with the lights on, plenty of light. Alright, and this built-in, these are nice and deep. You can see from the side here how big these are. Lots and lots of storage. Those are saw closed there. These drawers roll nice and smooth. These ones aren't saw closed, but it's really easy to just add that if that's something you're looking for. Alright. And stepping back out into this bedroom. So that's nice. This bedroom has its own private bathroom. I presume each bedroom has that, given that it's 3 bedroom, 3 bath with the powder room. So then we come into another bedroom. This one has a lot of windows. It faces the street. These blinds are letting in enough light so you could have the blinds closed and still get a touch of natural light, or if you wanted to white out the windows. There's no curtains here, but you could add curtains to black out. And then I'm going to go ahead and guess that this closet has the same functional layout as the other ones. And I was right. Okay. All these doors are nice and tall. They've got beautiful framing. And then this bathroom has the same stone countertop. Let me get a close-up. I didn't last time. So you can really see the nice pattern and design they've got going on here. And then here we've got a full tile shower. And you can see that it's got obvious drainage, which is really nice. You really don't want these showers to have any spots where they don't drain. Otherwise, it's going to gunk up your grouting and cause other problems. You'll be scrubbing it. If it doesn't dry out, you need that right angle to have it dry out. Let me zoom in on this tile here so you can get, it's got really nice coloring and pattern. This shower is a little shorter than that other one, but if I stand under it, it's still tall enough for a 6'1" person to be able to wash their hair without bending over. Lots of storage here in this bathroom as well. This one seems like it might be a little more luxury focused, whereas the other bathroom was a little more utility focused with the bath and the extra storage. Now this hallway has these windows that look out over the front door. There you can see right here is the front door. So we came in this hallway. And I'll just kind of give you a view. So that's this part of the house. Up here is the air intake for the HVAC system. I'm just looking around. We follow this hallway. This was the entryway hallway. They've got a nice piece of art here, but you could do family photos. You could do several pieces of art. You could do a mural if you really want to be creative, whatever you want. And then look at what this opens up into. Just beautiful. Full stone fireplace. Same wood that we saw in that first bathroom, and the second bathroom is dark stained wood. They've got it adorning everywhere out here. Get a nice border from the hardwood into this carpeted area. And then we make it into the kitchen. Now, besides the kitchen, there's a lot of counter space over here for entertaining, but there are plugs over there. So you could have secondary preparations for Thanksgiving or parties besides this gorgeous, gorgeous kitchen. I like that the island has an overhang so you can put the stools there. Room for 4 stools. Little breakfast bar. Just gonna move real nice and slow so we can take all of this in. And then here's the fridge. And one thing I like on these houses when they have plenty of room. So this one has a slot, so you can put whatever fridge in that you want. Right, and there's a little extra space here, so you could put a little bigger fridge if you wanted. Some of these luxury houses, they have built-in fridges, and that's good for like 5-8 years, but then when you need to fix the compressor, sometimes it's less expensive to just get a new fridge, but with the built-in, it becomes a hassle. Whereas with these ones, when you need a new fridge, you just take the old one out and put the new one in. Let's open some of these drawers. These look like tall drawers. And they do, they've got plenty of depth here. take a look here at the stone. Got a little different stone selection and backsplash than we did in the bathrooms. Just gives a little bit more light and contrast to these darker cabinets. A little side drawer here. Power in the island. And I always like to focus on the sink because it is quite important. We use the sinks a lot in our lives. So I'm using the fisheye lens, so let me switch over the 1x so you can get a better view of the sink and the depth. So this is a nice big stainless steel sink. Then we've got the built-in range. These last forever. These natural gas ranges last forever. You just keep them clean and they run forever. So I don't have a problem with the built-in ranges, especially if you get a good brand. Like Bosch is a pretty good brand, and that's what this one is. And it's got the cute little separate backsplash pattern going on here. And then every kitchen needs to have a really good vent going on. And this one has lights as well. And that's going to go up into here. So these do open, but you'll want to be careful because there is a vent up in there. Take a look inside of the cabinets. Like most of them, there's the pins, so you can adjust the height. If you've got really tall glasses, then that's not going to be a problem. All right, moving right along, we've got this, I presume, is the microwave. Yep, I was right. They make it look like a second oven in a lot of these, but that is definitely the microwave. And then here's the primary oven. Actually looks nice and clean, which is good. This house was last sold brand new in 2020. So it's had one owner since then. So this is all one big room, but they've definitely got a delineated space for a dining table. A family area over there. Looks out over the kitchen. And then this house boasts its own private pool, which is really nice. And a hot tub. Hooray! I love hot springs and hot tubs, so that kind of stuff speaks to my heart. If you want it, we just write an offer, ask to keep it. If you don't want it, we write an offer and ask to have it removed. It's really easy to make those decisions. You can make the home your own. So here, let me go stand over here in this corner, and we'll take a nice view. These shelves, they are also adjustable with pinholes. Nice sized cabinets. Take a look at the color of the carpet. You know, and I like that it's got a ceiling fan here, but it's not giant and obtrusive. It's just simple. It'll do its job, circulate the air when you need it, but it doesn't really detract or grab the attention in the room. Stays out of the way. All right, so from here, got a couple different places we can go, but I want to show you the pantry. We didn't stop there yet. So here's the pantry. You find the pantry light. So the pantry's got outlets, which is really nice, and a full weighted counter, whereas this is just the wood. So you could put mixer in here. And if you mix some bread dough for like 15-20 minutes or however long your recipe calls, then you can close the door and not have it disrupt the whole house. So that's a positive feature. And it does curve around the corner here. So you got room to open the door into the pantry. Enjoy the space there. And with all of this storage, we've got all of these tall cabinets. And then those are cat perches up there. That's the new official term. We put cats up there. Unless you don't have cats, then you can put cactuses. Or whatever else you want. I know that my cats would find a way up there. All right, so then there's this hallway here. This leads to the mudroom, the laundry room, the garage. There's right in the center, this is the hallway we came down, and then this hallway leads to the master bedroom. So let's go take a look at the master bedroom. Primary bedroom in today's nomenclature. All right, so opens up in here to the right. Nice wide walkway. Extra wide door. This is wider than the rest of the doors. And then there's the door to the bathroom. And then here is the master bedroom with these gorgeous windows. Just give you an immense amount of light. An enjoyable view of the backyard. Now this isn't a neighborhood, so you will have neighbors, but what I've seen people do is plant privacy shrubbery. They've got some pines here going on. Those will grow eventually, but you can get taller, skinnier ones and really give yourself your own private cove if that's what you're looking for. And you can see all the neighbors have their blinds closed too. Let me intrude a little on some privacy. See, they've got all their blinds closed. Over here, they've got their blinds half closed. So, I mean, everybody knows you live next to somebody, but long gone are the days when people look at people through their binoculars, like in the 1980s. Maybe people still do, but I just like to pretend that they don't. And then this opens right up out to the backyard. And since we're here, we'll just take a quick peek at the view before we go and take a look at the primary bathroom. And we'll come out here and really look at the details. But that's the secondary exit. There's another one over opposite, and that's from the kitchen. All right, so nice tall ceilings. Another one of those fans that I like. This is a king bed for sure, and there is a lot of room on either side. So plenty of options for furniture, maybe even a desk. All right, here we are. The primary bathroom. The first thing that we see is this nice large tub here in the center. Dual separate vanities, which is nice with large mirrors. Stone. And then take a look at this tub. Nice and deep. Essential. There's the privy with a door. And then we'll come over to the master shower. Now the house is really set up nice. So they've got a lot of space in here. 2 different shower heads. Parallel, plenty of room. That's a footstool. I wouldn't say you could sit down there and take care of your legs, but it's just as easy to install something a little bigger, but that's about as big enough for a foot. We have light from the windows. And then towel racks here, towel racks here. All right, and now to the favorite part of the primary suite is the primary closet. It's got a good sized closet. There's the crawl space entry. And above us is the entry to the attic. We've got hanging rods all around. And it looks like these, yep, I was right. These are added after the fact. See that? So you could remove these or leave these in if you wanted. If you have more stuff to hang, then you use the rod. If not, then it looks like they've added some shelving in here. All right, view from the closet. I like the tone from the paint. It really gives it a nice warm light. We're not getting too much airplane white or hospital white in here from the lights. Very warm, inviting light. All right, let's go take a look at the backyard now. I'm gonna grab my shoes. All right, we're starting back in the kitchen. We'll do the door from the kitchen out here. All right, they seal coated all of the cement. And we've got another fan, lights, and we're north facing here, so you'll get a lot of shade here in the summer. This side of the house, this way faces north. So we've got some cute shrubberies. And then this here is not real grass, so you don't have to mow the backyard, but let's take a look at it. It's got a nice feel. It's not pokey. I could happily walk barefoot onto that. And then there's a walkway out here to the hot tub. And over we've got the shed, power box. Coming along down the side of the house, there's all pool stuff, pumps, filters. Going to make sure all the stuff that pool owners are super familiar with and know how to handle them. They've got a fire pit. This is nice pattern set stone. And then that leads us to the pool. It's got a shallow area here, and then it steps down. And the side of the pool, if I come down here close without dropping my phone, it is blue. So it gives that water that nice color. And I'm guessing I can ask the sellers exactly how deep it is, but this to me looks like probably 6 feet. 6 feet deep at the deepest, maybe more. They've got cute little grow boxes of water. I'll bet these are set up to the timers, which would be the smart thing to do because they're pinned into the ground, so they're probably on one of the circuits for the sprinklers. Another small shed. And then here I'll give you a nice view of the roof. This roof is about 5-6 years old, so there shouldn't be any problems. Whenever we write a contract, the inspector, if he sees any granule loss, we have a roofer come out and give us an estimate of years of life left, as well as touch-up or repair costs if the roof is starting to get 15-20 years old or it looks like it's taken a lot of damage in its life. But for a house this young, I definitely see this house is young, we would just have the inspector take a look at it and shoot some photos. So now this pool has a lid. You can see the roll-up lid here. So roll that up during the winter. And then luckily, this part of Idaho really doesn't get a lot of snow compared to the rest of Idaho. Now, there is this feature over here. We've got a natural gas line. A lot of people will hook up nice grills and barbecues to this line as part of their outdoor experience. But I'd have to say overall, I'd score this backyard pretty high. Especially the fact that I wouldn't have to mow it. That's actually really nice. You just have to mow the front yard. This is really geared more towards enjoying the pool, not tracking mud or dirt in. We've got a drain right here to keep standing water from pooling. Really, this is well thought out. All right, I'm gonna take my shoes back off and we'll go take a look at the garage. So if we come here, the first thing we bump into is the mini mudroom where you can put coats, boots, anything you need to dry out before coming into the house. Then we've got a laundry room with a nice counter and just immense amounts of storage. More cat perches. Plenty of room for a really nice washer and dryer. If you don't want to keep the cellar's washer and dryer, there's plenty of room to pick whatever kind you'd want. And now to one of the really nice features of this house is the garage. And the first thing you step out into is the third car bay. If you see, there's the door and it has room for another car to come down in here. You'd want to avoid the sink. If you take this out, this might have been in the house and they moved it because they're getting ready to list. And it also has this nice coating over everything. Here we've got the furnace, large tankless water heater, and the water softener system. And I think that's just the water softener system. I'm not sure if that's a purifier or not. So a typical 2-door, with space for 1, 2, 3 cars, and then a tall door here, and then there's the RV door. And now this, let me just capture this whole door. This is a really nice tall door. If I walk up to it, you can kind of get a feel. This really nice tall door. There's the circuit breaker box, and this opens up all the way down to there. And there's going to be a door to the backyard, and it looks like they've got a heater or something placed up in the corner. To me, that looks like a heater. All right. Overall, I would score this home really high, especially because of the neighborhood that it's in. This is really a special neighborhood. All right, I wanted to give you a real nice picture of your neighbors' houses. This is the house we just walked through, and the neighborhood. And then here up here we've got the foothills, and that white part is Bogus Basin. Today we've got some really beautiful clouds. Might rain this afternoon. Just overall, this is a nice, quiet street. And another view from the front. All right, I'm at the end of the street, the house we were just looking at. Here you can see some more of the subdivision. They've got this pasture area, and then down there is the equestrian center, that some of the houses have access to. So if you've got horses or want to board some horses, that's something that this community is offering. It's got beautiful access to hiking up in these hills. Just drive and park your car, or you can ride your bike up there, and these are amazing views. And this is a soccer field. The kids want to come out and play soccer. And that right there, Sparks Lake Drive, that's right down the street where we just came from. Dry Creek Ranch is one of the most unique communities you'll find in the Treasure Valley. It's tucked into the Boise foothills just outside Eagle, and it's what's called an agrihood, a master planned neighborhood built around nature and sustainability. At the heart of it all, there's a working community farm, professionally managed and fully organic, that supplies fresh produce right to the people who live there. If horses are your thing, you'll love the Equestrian Center, complete with an arena, stables, and the option to board your own horses on site. The brand new clubhouse sits on 5 acres and runs nearly 9,000 square feet, with a large resort-style pool that has shallow areas perfect for kids, a fully equipped fitness center with professional instruction available, and even a charming little coffee shop. There's also a creative play space designed like a small city where children can explore and use their imagination. Just outside, you've got miles of trails, fire pits, barbecue areas, a playground, a soccer field, and 4 pickleball courts ready to go, with 467 acres of open space surrounding it all. There's room to breathe. The location really is the best of both worlds. You're minutes from the Boise River, a short drive to skiing at Bogus Basin, and right next to everything downtown Eagle has to offer. And there's even an elementary school being built inside the community itself. That wraps up our tour of this gorgeous home and really unique community in Eagle. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more home tours in Idaho.